Okay. Looks accurate. We're online. We're back. It's Thursday, and this is episode 6 already. It's kind of crazy how the weeks just kind of fly by. This is already week 3, of early retirement, basically, from public education. And since then, I've just been leaning pretty heavily into content creation. Like, I'm just trying to, dip my toes a little bit into YouTube, consistently updating onto Instagram. My wife and I have been working on a TikTok, so it's been busy. But here we are. We are back at it again. It took us a second here to get started because I had to resync these settings here at OBS with YouTube, and sometimes that conflicts as well with streaming on Twitch. So something that I'm looking into in the next little bit is restream. Right, this whole idea of multi-streaming, but of course there's a few things that we need to kind of keep in mind. I think Twitch, according to their terms of service, always wants people to stream first to Twitch and then everything else from there to other platforms. So Twitch is basically, if I'm going to do multicasting, I think the most important thing is making sure that the main or the primary is in fact coming out of Twitch. So the more you know, shooting star. But today is all about figuring out a little bit of this Insta360 studio stuff. Again, this is a platform that I'm much more familiar with on the phone. In fact, I would dare say that I do 95% of my editing on the phone. Our second how-to video was aimed towards figuring out how to use DaVinci Resolve, but that program is pretty intimidating. Like there's a lot going on there, and I guess to learn a new platform requires time, requires patience, which I have quite a bit of. I have an abundance of time. But I want to come back to it after I've had a chat with someone I know who is much more experienced with DaVinci, because I feel like there's a few kind of workflow things that can definitely speed up or at least kind of bring the learning curve down just a little bit. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I think the reality is that whenever we're learning new things, let's just make sure that this is working here. I think it's working. It shows green. So that's good. And the Twitch TV also shows that it works. Look at that. Kaz, thank you, good sir. Thank you for getting the Carl bot going here on the Discord. Just for the folks who want to check this out. It says no data. Why is there no data? I don't want to refresh. I don't know. Is it recording? Is it streaming? Looks like it's streaming. But over here, right, we've got ourselves our little Discord thing, and yeah, that's working. So Kaz, I appreciate your boatloads for getting this all sorted out for me here. Bubblebee, welcome to the stream. Always appreciate you tuning in. Always appreciate the consistent viewers who take their time, a little bit of time out of their lunch break, just to pop by and see what's popping. You're in the I can't read this chat very well. What's going on here? You're in the wrong one. Oh no. Well, you're here now, and I appreciate that. I just can't figure out why this little control panel. So there's a control panel here. Check this out. It says no data. Like I don't know what to make of this. I might just reinitialize, and I'm just going to close the tab. Go back to, is it tools? Which one is it? Dock. Stats. YouTube Live Control Panel. So maybe this will work this time. Hey, we just click on that. There it is. All right, now it's working again. All right, so we've got our views and things, and I guess I'll just kind of erase that first video there. Strange though that before OBS was saying that there's going to be some kind of issue, and I had to sign out, sign back in. But yeah, today we are going to be learning a little bit about keyframes and the importance of setting those up. So why don't we just kind of dive right into it. Right. My wife was saying the best kind of approach here is just do things, and as people come through the chat, you can definitely catch up a little bit. engage with y'all at home, and from there, learn something together. And I think that's the most meaningful way to do this. So here we go. Today we're going to be looking at this Insta360 Studio, which again I'm much more familiar with on my phone. I just find the workflow of the phone just a lot more palatable. But I think that's also the result of just learning how to create videos on my phone. Right, while I was basically on my honeymoon traveling through China. That's when I really kind of cranked it and start to really dial in and figure this out. But I've got a whole bunch of videos here from Red and Black Day. And Red and Black Day, for a little bit of context, is the homecoming event at the school where I used to work. And again, everyone's kind of dressed up, and there's a football game and rugby games. Like, there's all sorts of athletics going on. There's cheer squad, there's marching band, and there's a whole parade. And this procession is actually led by a DeLorean vehicle, which is owned by a staff member. So, I mean, we're just gonna throw some footage into the screen here and just kind of figure out what to do with it. And I think it was October 10th, at least according to the footage that I've got here. I'm just gonna plop that in. That's me. Hey, look at that. That's me. And the whole idea of the 360 camera is being able to rotate. So it says here, add keyframes to fix the angle. Right click and drag or click on the frame to add a keyframe and lock the viewpoint. Okay, so we just kind of, right, and I can just click. Is that the idea? So what's the plus there? Oh, okay, so if I were to go over here now and I were just to right click again, how do I, oh, well, let's run it. Let's just see what happens. The whole idea is to have a transition, right? So let the software kind of figure out what to do. And you can hear like the audio. Yeah! Woo! There we go. We're making some noise. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of activity happening here, but this is really where it gets wild. Like, check out this car. And that car. There you go. We're gonna get some high fives in there.
Yeah, it's 360.
That's me. And we're just ripping around here. And the great thing about the way that this stuff is recorded is that it literally captures everything, right, in and around the camera. So, yeah, just to kind of explain how this stuff works. For starters, we need to have the camera itself. So we're just going to take a look at that. This is a much older model, the Insta360, I think, 1. So I picked this up right around the pandemic, actually, when we were making a lot of skate videos. But here is the camera in all its glory. I'll give you a little bit of a, look at that. Today is a check out the equipment day. And the whole idea behind this camera is being able to capture both sides and then have the software stitch those two sides together. You also attach it to this fun little selfie stick, right? We just kind of turn it in. But this fun little selfie stick, again, gets erased, right, by the software once you have it kind of dialed in. Kryptonian, bonjour mon ami. Always good to have you pull up. Kaz, oi oi oi. Yeah, today's fun because today we're going to be figuring out a little bit of 360 video editing and talk about the importance of setting up a keyframe, right? So letting the software do a lot of the heavy lifting. And then later on, I can kind of work my creative license again and insert my soundtrack. Because here's what I've decided. I think the success of this Instagram channel that I'm working on, the Say Less channel, is going to ride primarily on stories with a soundtrack, or stories to a soundtrack. So minimal talking from me, but a lot more just, songs that kind of fit the moment. And hopefully we can, get something going, build some traction there. I think it's working. But here we are, back at it. We're just going to mute this audio so we listen to that smooth jazz and my sultry video voice. But for those of you who are just tuning in right now, you're like, who is this guy? That is me. That is moi. And we've set up 2 keyframes over here. That's defined by these 2 yellow dots. All right, and we can delete that later. And right now we're just kind of riding along the parking lot here. This was October 10th. And our school, or I can still say our school, but the school where I used to work is very almost like the high school you would see portrayed in the movies. Like we got outfits, we got marching bands, we got cheer squad, we got a football team, and if we just want to run it back just a little bit, scrub back over here, like look at this thing. This is a DeLorean. So, right, and then there's a Camaro back here, or is that a Corvette? I don't know cars, but I do know that this is a DeLorean, and you're like, that's boss, and right, like this is a staff, this is a staff member's car, like that's beastly. So we're just gonna pan down here, and we're like, okay, like maybe I want to right click and set up this keyframe, and like just look at that. My DMC12. So if we were just to kind of go back a little bit, right, and we're like, okay, let's just run that, but this time I want to focus maybe over here, and maybe that's enough for me to, right, come back over here and again set up another keyframe, and this is just right clicking. So if we were just to play this segment, let's drag the timeline back. So that's me ripping around, saying hello to everyone, and then we're just gonna take a look. Right, like there's potential for a lot of cool there. The TDSB truck, yes. Let me just pop this chat in so I can actually read what you're writing, Kaz. Right, that we never know why it's there. It's always there, just hiding in the bushes. I used to play a lot of Battlefield 3. One of the servers that we used to play on was called Noobs Hiding in the Bush. Whee! And the point is, we're doing some, did I just ignore the guy? Oh, that's so sad. Oh, this poor soul. Like, he was going in for the dab. The dap? Is it the dab or the dap? He's going in for it, and I completely just miss him. Leave a man's hanging. That's rough. But this camera is so much fun, right? And just to be able to kind of zoom out, like, now I exist on a tiny planet. Right? Just a disrespect. But again, right? Look how easy this is to just manipulate. Like, people are coming through like, who is this guy? Who is this menace? All geared up here in the classic, leather jacket and pink helmet. Pink was very much my Knight Rider colors back in the day. During the pandemic, I created this whole character called Knight Rider because I would ride things at night, or I would just ride things, period, right? Whether it's skateboards or some other kind of, danger vehicle. And the pandemic was the perfect time to get up to these kinds of shenanigans because the whole world came to a standstill. Like, we're talking ripping through Eaton Center, just why not? Because there's no one else there. What a time to be alive. Oh, maybe I did get a dab. Let's run that back here. I think I did get someone. Okay, we're just gonna follow this chase cam for a second. just gotta zoom in and then just put the GTA like wasted, like missed opportunity. And again, this is already this is one of the first generation 360 cameras here. So things are a little fuzzier. I think at this time I was just recording in 1080, 30, 60 frames per second, whatever was the resolution. And man, everyone looks kind of like, this is kind of good though. Keeps identities anonymous, right? Faces like blurred basically. But I do think I do get one. Right there we go. We're just gonna zoom out a little bit. There we go. I must get one fist bump in. Oh, look at that. Maybe. Nope. Still missed fist bumps. That's rough. No fist bumps for anyone. I was just locked in, okay? I wasn't trying to disrespect anyone. I was just legit riding around, living my best life, getting footage. And, this is just one clip. Right? So again, if we were to come back to the beginning here, and again, we can take these keyframes, I think, and just erase them. Like, what is this? Default. If I hit X down here in the corner, right, that keyframe's now gone. And I can start off by looking, or maybe the whole idea is to start with this like outward, I don't know, kind of fisheye lens type thing. I don't know. If I were to add it this way, let's run it back and right, and now that slowly zooms in to the next clip where I establish the next keyframe. And like, this isn't very exciting. This is just you riding around. Okay, but maybe we can take that whole segment there and then speed it up. I think that's this button motion, maybe. Right? Maybe now this time, by the time we get here, we actually wanted to focus on this group. So by the time we get here, maybe right around in there, we're now going to get rid of this keyframe, X that out, and then say, hey, let's focus on the cheer squad. Right? And just like that. Imagine telling someone from 2012 that 1080 is blurry, right? Like it's bonkers. Just think like how far we've come with streaming, with VoIP, right? Voice over IP, and be able to just kind of like wherever you are in the world, just be connected. It's phenomenal. But here we are. We're back to the cheer squad, right? And you're like, well, maybe the whole idea here like isn't to. Maybe legs isn't the angle that we're going for. Let's go for sky. All right, let's go for sky here. Let's just try the sky. Okay, maybe this is the right angle. Right, this is what we're really going for here. And we'll pin down that, and then just in a little bit, we'll scrub forward. Whoopsies. And we'll pin that down. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see what it looks like. Asif Music, yo, what's good? Right now we're just editing videos. We're looking back at red and black footage, red and black day footage. Okay, that's me missing the fist bump there, getting some waves. Right, but if we were to again bring back this particular line. And each one of these things that I'm adding down here, this little yellow bubble, whee, look at that. That's the keyframe. Okay, and maybe from this moment here, again, we don't quite want sky. Let's just get rid of that and see what happens. So we're pulling up. Okay, and maybe the idea is to do this instead. It's like, hey, we want more faces, we want more cheer. All right, we see the pom-poms. We're going to ride past the marching band. And all of us just, TDSB truck. Right, very covert, very solid snake in a box. But look at that DeLorean. Look at that. What is that? Is that a Corvette? I think that's a Corvette. Right, and there we go. All right, so then maybe that's going to be our first little clip there. And then we can export, save it. How does this work? Is there a way to... What's the quick way to do this? Oh, so I can already start export like that. Okay, and maybe... Actually, I'm looking at the corner here. It says 4K. So maybe the quality is going to hold up better once we've actually exported. All right, so let's bring this this tail end bit over here. Let's just cut that off and export. All right, and just let it do its thing. What do we want to do? We want to do local, sure. Export as a video. Let's just call this trial. Put that on our desktop. Let's just go higher bitrate, just crank it. Resolution, because this is going to social media, so we don't have to really go that hard. And then we just make that video happen. And that's 800 megs right there. Crazy, right? Very important to have a computer that can handle this kind of workload. But there it is, it's done, right? So if we were just to come back over here, that's my trial video, and we're just going to plop that into good old Pylon. When I say Pylon, we're not talking about Dion Phaneuf. And you're like, damn, that's well, can I do this? Why do you always have to be here? Okay, not right now. That's actually pretty decent. Like each time you watch this, you notice something new. Like there's a person walking behind the truck, like in that tight little gap between the fence and the truck. So that's our first video, and you know, is it a little excessive? Probably, because that was 546 megs there for 37 seconds of video. That's pretty wild. So when we export again, we can definitely, you know, go a little easier. You don't have to crank it that hard, right? If we were to again start export, and this time keep our bit rate to 25. Let's just try that again. And again, this time it's much smaller, a lot less content. Okay, but now we're dealing with about 111 megabytes of space. Again, let's run that back. Let's take another look. I think that because we're exporting at 1080, we're barely noticing any artifacts. It's about the same quality. Right, and there you go. That's our first video. We did it. Great success, chat. But the power of the software comes from experimenting. Right, because you can create all sorts of funky little kind of transitions and such. So we're going to come back to this. Actually, let's load in a different clip. Let's go to something a little bit later in the day. I think the football team would have started playing by noon. Let's plop that in here. Oh, we're back at the cheer squad. No, I don't want to. I think we've seen enough of that for a minute. Let's try this here. What's this? Oh, okay. I don't know. Let's just run it. What's happening? Oh, here's some folks checking out the camera. Okay, and again, this just give you a little bit of context. Right, we've got this whole stadium here to ourselves, basically. That's pretty wild. Of course, the band's cheerful. Yeah. Supposed to be cheerful. Let's see if we can find is this the same day? Yeah, that's still the same day. Let's try this next one. Where are we now? What's happening now? Oh, there's people. We're watching the football game. There you go. There's excitement. Marching band's doing its thing. Look at that. Instruments. Look at this, the school spirit. All right, this is what I mean by, like, this is as movie-esque, as motion picture as you can imagine. All right, so there's some crowd footage there, and what's this one? Because I know there's one where I'm just rolling through the field. Oh, is this where we get the whole wave? Let's take a look. this has so much potential. Okay, so there's this camera that goes down here. There's staff, and the camera's gonna swing up, I think, and everyone's gonna cheer. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that's got potential there. Let's try another one. Kind of like that one. And right now we are building this ultimately for publishing onto IG. Let's try one more here. All these students, them Utes. All right, I've got all the glasses. Oh, I think there's a fist bump in there. Oh, finally, acknowledgement. See, hey, please clap. And if we were to look at that same kind of like please clap from a different angle, there it is, right? Very cool to, yeah, just like so. What did I just hit? I just hit, oh no, I don't want that. And this is the task manager export. Okay, oh, records. And I can say, hey, I don't like these, and I'm just going to trash everything. But it's still there. Maybe it's just the record itself. I think the export itself is still a file that I have to manually delete. But there you have it. So, yeah, editing videos is a ton of fun. And I've really been enjoying just kind of adding different, I don't know, capturing different moments, adding them, slicing them together, and doing a little bit of storytelling. Which I think is what I was also doing, like as a high school teacher, right? Just telling stories, but wrapping the curriculum or wrapping it around curriculum, keeping it engaging. So just the fact that y'all are here and tuning in is good. It's really encouraging, and motivates me to keep going. Kryptonian asks, what's the name of that camera and how much did it cost? So the camera is called an Insta360. Now this is a much older one. This is the one, I think, basically the very first, like the first year it came out kind of thing. And at the time it was around 500. This is Canadian. So, in terms of freedom bucks, in terms of euros, it's a little different. But now they are on, I think what's it, Insta360 1X4 or something like that. Let's take a quick moment and explore together here. But always look for a promotion if you are Insta360. I think, like, what do they say? Boxing Day, back to school, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. All right, look at that snow bundle. Yeah, so here we go. We're on the X4 now. Oh, I should actually put the camera there. This is the kind of stuff that folks can take now. So it really encourages you to go outside and do stuff. And at the time, I was, during the pandemic, working with my friend at Mystic Point Water Sports. Unfortunately, no longer exists, but the idea during the pandemic was to kind of start our own little business and sell action adventure equipment. So this here's the 3S, or the Go 3. Yeah, it. I don't know, Kryptonian. I don't know. Maybe there's additional tariffs that are tacked on because it's you're in Europe. I don't know. It shouldn't be though. But they make some really cool gear, right? So here's the Flow 2, and what the Flow 2 is, it's basically a gimbal. And actually, my wife had picked this up for us over the holiday break, and then we ended up returning it because we just didn't use it enough, basically, to well, not quite. Like I was eyeing a different model. That's really the answer. So that might still be a future purchase down the road. But yeah, they are very good at getting the market. I think that GoPro might have dropped, because I think GoPro kind of dropped the ball a little bit. And off we go, right? What is this? There's a link. There's like a full smart home. Oh my goodness. 4K webcam. Wow. We are in the future, yo. We're in the future. But the current promotion is this, right? So this is the snow bundle. Let's take a quick look together. Not bad. Okay. So a new model is 700. I think I remember paying about $5 for mine back in the day. Probably because we had like reselling rights, and my buddy had, you know, all the kind of contracts in place. But now, right, at 700 you get a free gift, a bag. Really, really selling it here. Yeah, look at that. What is this? Standard lens guard action selfie stick, which is this guy, and I'm sure it's just some kind of coating that they put on it, right? Where when the software reads it, it just thinks, oh, like this is basically a green screen. I'm just going to delete that. That's the reason why you never see the stick in the video. But just look at that carving. Let's see if I can find a quick little thing on IG here, because it's we used to. There we go. But here's me shamelessly promoting my my Instagram, and this is all footage that was taken on the Insta360. Right. So again, it's great, right, for just showcasing memories. And that's kind of how I've always viewed social media. Like, yes, there's the angle where folks are trying to, you know, gain followers and generate clout and all that. But I just look at social media as a playground, you know, as a big sandbox. And currently, or actually since creating this account, it's kind of like my portfolio in a way, like my little art book, you know, my scrapbook. And again, this is just all done using keyframes. Okay, so here we are now in Dalian City in China. And again, we were doing this to, I think, Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's take a moment here and pause this. Let's come back over here. Yeah. 80 weeks ago. Oh my goodness. So in Dalian City, there's also a like a little Venice, and so here we are, you know, on a gondola, just riding. But I think my wife will be, I don't know, both happy, I think, and a little sad to learn that it's been 80 weeks since we were in China, and we're looking forward to going back again. Right, so on the phone, you just pinch, assign your keyframes. Yeah, some folks find this kind of movement a little disorienting too, so that's something to be mindful of, especially when you're creating content. So yeah, anyway, that's social media for you. But let's get some more of that smooth jazz going again, because I want to hear from you, dear viewers. What do you want to see? What questions do you have? What things shall we get up to? What should we learn together? Because that's the whole idea of this lunchtime hangout. Thinking ahead, you know, next week I've got. Will this work? Oh, that works. That's dope. Okay. So thinking next week, I think we can explore a little bit of fitness stuff, maybe some boxing content. My wife's been encouraging me to actually make, you know, the recipes that are on the calendar in the kitchen. So at some point we might move the camera, laptop, something in there, and I don't know, do some kind of Gordon Ramsay type, some Gordon Ramsay type shit. yeah, let me know in the chat there what you want to see happening, what you're excited, what kind of content you'd be curious to watch, what kind of side quests, what kind of adventures I should get up to. And if the whole idea right now is just, keep doing you, sir, okay. We've been planning a lot. We've got update schedules, and I've actually made a whole schedule. Like, that's pretty intense. I'll be back. Look at that. It's like a PPT, old school PPT. This poster, but look at that. We gotta, let's kind of flash that quick and then make it disappear again. Yeah. That, dearest viewers, is a content creation schedule. Like when I lean into this, I want to full send every time. Why have half measures? If you're going to commit to something, if you want to get good at something, you have to put in the time, right? Like, if you think of learning just as this, like, I know nothing and I know everything. I'm an expert. This is the area, this middle ground. That's where I like to sit in. And oftentimes that area could basically be defined as frustration, right? Because you haven't quite figured it out yet. You're not quite an expert in it, but you're more of an expert than the person who couldn't be bothered to start trying. So, and these days I'm just, I have the luxury of time these days, and that's what I want to explore with you. Okay, you, dear viewer at home. So let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to do. We'll make it happen. There'll be a road trip down the road. Yeah, there's a road trip in the foreseeable future. Mrs. High School Teacher / Mrs. Knight Rider and I've been talking about going to the East Coast for a little bit. Check out the Maritimes, which I think is more enjoyable to drive there as opposed to flying there. Like, domestic flights are expensive, and for folks who've been kind of following the news, you're like, hey, you like Pearson, upside down plane, Delta, ? Yeah, I mean, driving is, actually they say that flying is still safer than any other form of transportation, but I don't know. I think we'll likely make a road trip out of it. And maybe continue travel vlogging, right? That's how that started. Actually, why not? Because today maybe it's all about videos. I tend to jump around a bit, right? I guess that's okay. It's okay to be a little ADHD, as long as you've got mechanisms. As long as you've got mechanisms, strategies to rein yourself back in. Stand on business. Get shit done. Usually things work out. Actually, here's the last year's video. I hope you fall asleep. Yo. So like ASMR stream. Like I gotta find like crinkly things. Like, all right. Here, let's get back to business. All right. Misclick. It's not this channel, sir. I don't listen to you. What up? Anyway, this was last year's video. Right, and spend quality time with family and friends. Help with homecoming as a Knight Rider, friendly neighborhood future man, and watch the home team catch a dub, in complete contrast to the L of PD the following day. Attended a Thanksgiving block party, and watched Catherine make a new friend. Got barked at by a demon dog at the Woodbridge Car Show. Attended the Canadian International, and bet on the wrong horse. Went to glow-in-the-dark mini-putt, where I was quickly shown who's boss. With regards to gratitude, I genuinely treasure the time spent with my honey and extended family. Anyway, that's this past week in almost 30 seconds or less. Till next time. Hooped with my... So those are always a ton of fun to put together. Isaiah, I love you too, bro. And right back at you, Thanos Car. I actually figured out who you are. It took a moment. I legit thought you're like making a reference to Squid Game. So and I've only heard this done one time in real life, right? Like, welcome to the Thanos world. Like, there's just something about that character, man. Like, there's a top, and if you have no idea what I was just referencing there, that's a-okay. But I think it's important to do more travel videos here. We're gonna just just flexing my own IG right now. But this one was a ton of fun to put together.
Look, say what you will, but sweating is basically fat crying. So we have to slow things down a little bit and visit the former home of the Empress Xiao Zhongwen, also known as the first matriarch of the Qing dynasty. After an obligatory visit to the water closet, where I was confirmed to have the physique of Schwarzenegger, the tour officially began, where we learned a little bit more about the people who previously lived here. All of them chose the exact same outfit in a character selection screen. Chinese architecture is particularly fond of symmetry, so look to the left, then look to the right. You'll often see mirrored images that are equidistant along the center line. Found the Chinese equivalent of Smokey the Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
And also learned how the Mongolian gur keeps itself cool during the summer months. It's actually majestic AF in this gur. Psych, that's just a gift shop. But it's pretty wild to think that a building that was once conceived for nobility is now a place where you can enjoy a popsicle on a hot summer day. What's today's lesson, you ask? Simple. Always shoot your shot. Anyway, that concludes Travel With Me in 90 seconds or less. See you next time.
But yeah, that's basically how I made videos or learned how to make videos. It was during this time. We should do another Val tourney. I think we should, because all the other tourneys since then has kind of fizzled. Like we tried with Rocket League, that fizzled. We tried with R6, didn't really happen. We wanted to hit up some Marvel Rivals too, didn't happen. And the folks who are like, let's play the finals, like sir, like 3-on-3. I'm down with that, but I also have a feeling that Val was really where I was at. Right, that was a crazy tourney. Remember Kinetic? Isaiah, do you remember Kinetic? Like, I remember some teams were like, yep, I just installed the game. And then Kinetic's like, yep, so I I play with full-time streamers and, you know, I'm Radiant. Let's go. So that was a little intimidating. And y'all were all, like, all of you in high school. And it's like bonkers. But yeah, no, I guess I'll just address anyone who's watching, whether live or at home on VODs. If y'all want to like do the video game tourney, like I will organize this, but y'all got to pull up, right? I don't want to be, you know, like a teacher from home, like harassing people, like pestering, like sign up. This is not the way. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man was built different. A lot of hours in AIM Lab. And yeah, these tournaments are actually fairly easy to organize as long as people like can come together, sign up, and usually whoever signs up is like the team captain, is the scheduler, and then we just get the other team captains to coordinate, find a time where you can play, and I will gladly cast this thing. Like I am not experienced at Val at all, so I'll get the character names wrong, you know, I'll get the callouts all incorrect. But I'll do it. I will dummy myself for your entertainment, you know, or even better, I will find a friend who will just pull up and we'll do it together and we'll just be equally lost. Actually, that was the idea with Luther. When I originally called him up, like, yo, let's just cast this thing. We've got a lot of high schoolers coming through, playing video games. And he's like, bet, let's go. But that night we ended up doing this almost introspective, you know, adults chatting kind of thing, which actually worked out really well too. Because this other streamer, Russell, I still don't really know who it is, but some of Russell's followers ended up raiding our channel. And it was just bonkers. Like there are hundreds of people just kind of filing through, at least 100. When I say hundreds, I guess assets, but cap and slight exaggeration, but we'll get there someday. But there's a lot of people, boatload of people who just pulled up and were like, yo, what's this happening? And that was dope. And I guess while we're talking a little kind of, things that happen, sharing anecdotes, sometimes I feel like I'm that uncle, who's got crazy stories to share. And you're like, is he being honest about this? Like, is he just making it up? Or is he just telling us for entertainment? Maybe a little bit of column A and B. But when that raid happened, I thought, like, okay, like, own it. Just live in the moment. Don't think too much about this. Continue to engage with your audience. But there's also like a perspective thing to keep in mind, right? And it's that, like, online likes and upvotes and all that don't necessarily correlate to anything. I mean, at the end of the day, if you were to think of like a like as a fist bump, right? Someone comes up to you and says, good job. Low numbers ain't anything to be really ashamed of. Like, that's still, like, say it's five likes. That's 5 people who came up to you. Like, so that's 5 of your best buddies who came up and gave you a fist bump. When you get to like 20, 30, and again, some folks are like, that's low numbers, sir. Anything that's not 3 digits, that's not going to get you anywhere. I don't know, like 20, 30, that's a class of people. And everyone's like, yo, I'm feeling this, I'm liking it, we're all respecting. And you get to hundreds, thousands, right? And those numbers, yeah, they're big and they're impressive. But I think they're not necessarily representative of people actually liking. Like sometimes we just kind of like, and we're just like, whatever. Just do it to support, the people we know. But yeah, don't get too caught up on numbers. I think that's really where my brain was at. But then I went into Yapaholics Anonymous, and you got that instead. You got the last 30 seconds of me rambling instead. So don't get too caught up in numbers, okay? Numbers are important. They define a lot of us. Whether it's grades on a report card, the amount of money in a bank account, social insurance number. Numbers make up a lot of our lives. So don't be defined by a number. There, that's the better lesson. Do not be defined by a number. Define greatness, define perfection for yourself. Okay, took us a minute to get there, but in a roundabout way we did. So yeah, if you are tuning in, as always, I appreciate your viewership. Right? If you've subscribed already, and if you followed, if you turned on the notification, that little bell, I also appreciate your support. Right? And then down the road, if this is something that we end up monetizing, and again, these are numbers, right? These are future plans, but I guess when that happens, question mark, we gotta manifest this stuff, right? So when this stuff happens, then I can definitely add, hey, I genuinely appreciate your patronage. I genuinely appreciate your financial contribution to help me continue making this kind of like a self-sustaining interest. Right? It's not a job. I don't want to see it as a job. But then the counter argument to that is love what you do and never work a day in your life. So, and I did. I still do. Right, working in public education, I never really looked at it so much as work as like I'm in a position of power and authority. And I can either be a really good role model, I can either be mid, or I can be just like there, like just in the classroom. And if you were to objectively, okay, like just zoom out and think back to your school experience, you all had teachers, mentors, people that you just vibed better with, right? Whether it's the way they chatted, the way they like, I don't know, their whole aura, their whole way of talking, mannerisms, their charisma, whatever it is, right? But there's some folks who you connect with, and off we go, right? We're shaking hands. And then there's the polar opposite of that, where you're just like, I can't, like, I don't know how I'm going to survive this, but like, and in those cases, you agree to disagree, and you understand that, hey, everyone operates in a slightly different way, and there's no singular right way, but there are preferred ways for the way in which you learn, right? All right, so maybe that's something for you to fall asleep to. I don't know. It's both flattering and kind of creepy. Maybe I should start doing audiobooks next summer. I don't know. Like I haven't really thought too much about just like voice acting or doing stuff with my voice. Maybe I should. I don't know. There was a time where I was trying to do the Venom, I was trying to do that voice, but maybe it's better that I stick to my day job. So, what to do, yo? Everybody eating lunch? Give me a thumbs up if you're eating your lunch or you ate your lunch. Can't just be me talking all the time. Gotta be clicking stuff. Gotta click stuff. I think this is the way. I'm just gonna randomly click stuff. How am I gonna click stuff? I'm just gonna open up. Let's open up Epic Games and click stuff. Oh, I don't even have it installed anymore. Oh, yikes. Well, that concludes that. Let's open up Steam and click stuff. What do I even have installed? It's making so much room for, and yes, I have an alt. Okay, that's Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Excuse me, what? There's a lot happening here. Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, like a dragon. There you go. Tell me, what is it all about, Kryptonian? Kryptonian, what are you talking about? The Canadian about. Here we gotta bring you back to the Sea of Thieves. I have this. No, what is this? Deluxe bundle, premium bundle, just more cosmetics. What's happening here? Oh, there's a lot of stuff. It's cool to support the game, but it's like, will I really listen to Athena's Fortune audiobook? I don't know. Bubblebee, welcome back. High five. But let's take a moment here and go back in time. We'll come back to you in a moment here. But it was the I Am Canadian. This is a classic. I think this is the one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, off we go.
Hey, I'm not a lumberjack or a fur trader, and I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. And I don't know Jimmy, Sally, or Susie from Canada, although I'm certain they're really, really nice. I have a prime minister, not a president. I speak English and French, not American, and I pronounce it about, not a boot. I can proudly sew my country's flag on my backpack. I believe in peacekeeping, not policing. Diversity, not assimilation, and that the beaver is a truly proud and noble animal. A toque is a hat, a Chesterfield is a coach, and it is pronounced Zed, not Z-Z. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation in hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Joe, and I am Canadian. Thank you.
This is in my opinion, the golden age of ads, because I feel like they don't quite slap as much.
Looking the sugar down.
Oh, what the? But back to the jazz music here. Yeah. Smooth jazz. 1, 2. I say Z, not Z. I appreciate y'all watching me on this channel. I have no idea what rhymes with channel. Grab this mug by its handle. I don't know. Can you even handle the facts? Riddle me that. Oh, y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Let's just try to come up with some bars here. You're gonna sleep smart tonight, as you should, good sir. As you should. That means that this stream is working. We're continuing to educate y'all, but just from a different. The classroom looks different. That's it. The classroom's actually kind of flashier now. I'm really proud of the setup. My wife walks in every now and then. I'm just like, we did it, honey. Yeah. There's a certain mystique every time that I speak, cause my poetry is deep. Words that you keep in your mind every time that I rhyme, cause I rhyme in time. Yeah, I said that 1, 2, 3 times. Yeah. Now who you know now fresher than Drew. Now riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can none of y'all mirror me back? Cause hearing me rap is like hearing Kendrick in his prime. I'm young DT raps Grateful Dead, here to take over the globe and break bread. I'm in Bowen Jets Global Express. Gotta yap, but Blueberry still connect. No, show a little bit of respect. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. This my magnum opus. Y'all already know this. All right, I'm out of bars. That's really the full extent of my rhyming capability. That was poetry, yo. Poetry. Actually, rap is rhythm and poetry. A lot of folks don't know that. Today I learned, right? RAP is rhythm and poetry. R&B is rhythm and blues. Y'all are getting smarter. We're doing it together. So yeah, this is actually, I think, a nice little spot to pack things up for today. It's right, 12:30. Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. But I think I might keep this stream a little bit shorter because I do actually have a few other things I'm trying to tackle today. The whole idea is to release a reel that covers what happened at the concert last night, and also release a reel that kind of captures the Malvern Red and Black Day. But I might not kind of release them on the same day. Like it seems kind of silly to have kind of one video grab the attention away from the other. I feel like that's a bigger brained move, right? It's like Tim Hortons and Starbucks. If you just put them side by side, like who's its competitor? Well, each other. Old rap is better. Yeah. Nowadays, nowadays, like skirt. Like you're like, okay, that sounds like a medical emergency. Get that rapper some help. Someone call it ambulance. Ambulance. That's an old video too. Okay, let's. These are old memes, right? So let's see if this still exists. Call an ambulance. Oh, it's still there. Oh man, this is 7 seconds from 15 years ago. Here we go. Okay, viewers' discretion is advised. Okay, from this point forward.
Are you alright? Did you break the cheese? No. Bring M&M's.
So, hey, I'm actually being recommended. That's kind of cool. But yeah, bring an ambulance. Okay, it's an old meme Pepperidge Farm remembers. And yeah, 'twas a different time. Here's some more spoof jazz. When in doubt, just default back to lo-fi. When in doubt. I feel like Lo-Fi Girl carries my channel, carries my streams. That's the strong tank, who picks me up, throws me on their back. It's like, okay, we're gonna give this guy some tunes to stream to. I was about to say the Eminem, like tunes to get murdered by. It's like, no, that's not right. That's not the right message. we're creating streams here. We're entertaining. Okay, we're entertaining you. And y'all get to get a little snapshot, I guess, into my daily. You know, whether it's side quests, whether it's adventure time, whether it's learning something. Maybe that's what these live streams are going to be. Like, let's learn something together from 11:30 Eastern. Poor Kryptonians, it's like 4 a.m. for me. It's not like 4 a.m, but still, it gets late. I know you watch when it's like early in the morning, but and I appreciate that. But yeah, maybe we'll learn stuff together. Okay, one day it could be like, let's learn how to do 4 on the floor. Like, let's do a straight rock beat. Today we're gonna learn how to make a Philly steak. I think it'll be fun. And yeah, your views, right? Your engagement with this content and the other content from the other sources there encourages me to keep going. And even if you don't encourage me to keep going, I'll probably keep going anyway. That's just how I roll. Like, when I really set my mind to stuff, I just do it. And whatever, stay in my lane, and every now and then explore other lanes and be humbled and reminded to stay in my lane again. But it's also kind of cool to see how many people you can kind of bring along with you on this journey. And if in some way, like what I'm doing now, inspires you watching at home, to make an adjustment, to make a change, something that you've been thinking about doing for a long time but just haven't done yet. Ask yourself why. Right? Is like, what's holding you back? And I know for some folks, like, well, I can't skydive because I'm not 18, or I can't travel and see the world because I'm not Midas and made of money. Like, that's not the point. But it's like, if there's a skill, if there's something you've been meaning to just kind of explore, like you're like, hey, I love magic. Like, I've always been just mesmerized by sleight of hand and how the magician moves cards and flourishes and that kind of cool stuff. Then go do it. Right? If you've wanted to be really good at Valorant, you have to put in the hours. Right? You have to play with people who are better than you, and for a while you're gonna suck, right? You're gonna get carried, but that's how you understand, that chemistry and the call outs and when to listen to your IGL, like, things like that. And I think those examples just, kind of give you a little insight into the importance of having a variety of interests. Okay, like I don't mind saying this on stream, but like, I have mad ADHD, like crazy town. Like, remember Doug from Up? Like, squirrel, like that's me. Like, I get distracted so easily, and then there are moments where my wife will just be like honey, you're supposed to do this. Like, how did you end up like talking to the plants, or you're supposed to tidy the stuff up. Like why are you tidying the other thing? And then that's just where my focus, like those are my focus issues, right? That's my challenge. But now I actually get to lean into some of those insecurities, right? Some of those challenges. And that's cool too. I guess when you do that, you end up wearing your insecurities, your worries, a little bit like a shield. You're like, well, this is it. Like, we're here now. Whatever. And I think the people who, like, what's that, like, that expression? Like, I don't want to, like, cuss on stream just for the sake of it. Like, I guess for me, like, profanity should have some kind of impact. It should just be like, F word, F word, F word. But, like, if there are people who will just be like, they'll vibe with your energy. I think that's the most, I still got to be a good role model here. But if there are people who vibe with your energy, they will find you. Okay? And if they're no longer vibing, they'll unfollow and they'll move on. And that's okay. Like, that's growth. If all you know is like one way of thinking or one perspective, I think you end up with a very limited experience. And we are defined by experiences, right? And the people we share those experiences with. I genuinely believe that. right. So Isaiah and everyone else watching at home, I hope that's enough ASMR and motivational fuel for y'all. Kryptonian, Bumblebee, Thanos. See, Thanos, I know where you've placed the space, and if I move the space 2 letters to the left, everything makes sense. So I know who you are, sir. And, I miss our hellos. I miss our little check-ins. I miss the 102 group. And Asif, Kaz, all of you, just for tuning in. Right? Kryptonian, you've been with me here since the beginning. I think since we're showing footage. Okay. Why not? Let's see if we can find some first-generation virtual secondary schools footage. And I think this is a way to actually wrap up this stream. We gotta dig. We're gonna go into the hard drive. Kind of scared to show this, but at the same time, like, fuck it, right? I mean, what? Okay, this is the very first lesson, okay? This is September 22nd, because they delayed the start of school. And Kaz is going to be like, all right, like let's run that back. We are going to run that back. We're going back in time now. Here we go. Look at this folder. We live in a day and age, folks, where data is our currency. Data is our currency. And as these little kind of things populate, let's take a moment here and this is kind of scary. I have 236 gigs of stored footage from Quad 1. Right? No, that's exactly it. I can't delete it. Like there's a part of me that was trying so hard. Like I was just like I just, shift delete. Like I'll never look at this again. But no, like this is growth. Okay, so we're gonna pause the audio here and just take a walk down memory lane. And it's both beautiful and tragic. Okay, so here we go. Here we go, everyone. This is how I started as a streamer. Oh my God, 2020. Oh, dude, it's rough. This is I just saw the concurrent viewer number drop, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. You have to go to class. Oh God! They're back. Welcome back, concurrent viewers. Okay, so quick little context. This logo, NR, was created by another former student. I never actually taught him, but I opened up the weight room, and he was just like one of the most, I think still is, one of the most athletic people I know. He's now an architect, and really cool guy. I actually look forward to linking up with him soon and just catching up a little bit. But at the time, he was like, hey, you are Knight Rider, and you ride this one wheel. And I was like, yes. He's like, well, here's the logo. That's really it. Okay, so we're just going to speed this along. This is kind of painful. How many minutes is this? This is why it's 256 gigs. Oh, I'm just using this to hide my face at this point, right? Like, this is a shield. No, none. I tried making a starting soon screen, and it was so bad. Like, I did it in Canva. And I'm like, man, I can't show this. Probably still have it somewhere. Okay, so there's 10 minutes now of continuous. What am I doing? Okay, we finally made it. Okay, 12 minutes in.
What is happening? How is virtual school going to play out? I don't know.
That's literally the first thing I say.
Probably wasn't playing this whole time because my mic was off. Oh, silly. You're like, what is happening? How is virtual school going to play out? I don't know. We're going to figure this out together, guys.
That is the story of my life.
I think there's 14 of you logged in right now. Hey, more people. Oh, this is so exciting. 20 people. Everyone's logging in. It's 9 a.m. Well, okay, let's do this. Let's hop in here. How on earth does Twitch work? I would hide that logo. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Salut. What's going on? Hey, good morning. Bonjour. This is a brand new experience for me, and basically kind of teaching out of my home right now, but this whole remote learning, remote teaching, virtual schools thing is pretty darn awesome because I don't have to actually wear a face mask and worry about that stuff during the lesson. Now, every now and then I'm actually going to be looking over here. This is where my monitor screen is going to be, and I've also got a little laptop over here. But today's actually really, really laid back, and you're like, hey, I'm here for a French class. Didn't quite expect my teacher to be doing it on Twitch. But if you guys are logged in and watching right now, if you just say a quick hello, wave emoji, kappa, something, just type it in the chat there. Just let me know.
Right, so this is how it started, okay? This is how it started. Like, look at how far we've come. And you're like, sir, you just bought a ton of shit. Kind of. But look at again. All right, it's like a visit to the optometrist. Better 1 or 2. Okay, and if you write 2, like I
think there's 21
I'm
of you
block
guys
you
and
right
gals.
now.
And you probably found a link through Brightspace. Anyone chatting? Checking that chat.
And again, the complete lack of contributions in the chat, I think, is very telling for its time. Yeah, Kryptonian, that's the Mr. Say I know. And Bubblebee's just like, are you living in the dark? Yes, I'm Batman. Okay, so that was kind of rough. Now, check this out. This looks like I didn't know what was going on. Oh, look at that. This is like Inception. No. It's not shit. It's cool stuff. I got to moderate my language a little more. But it's cool stuff. Cool stuff, bro. But yeah, One Piece is where it's at. So we're getting better now. Now we've discovered. Oh, this is still me struggling.
Artist has put forth.
Nope. We've positioned our logo in the corner.
For assignment 2.
Yo, that's describe what is happening. One of our first assignments, right? The World Press Photo Gallery. This is human immolation here. Yeah, pretty wild. Let's move on to.
Hey.
So at this point, we've chatted with my friend Zach in a different city. He's a professional videographer, and he said you should get lights. Okay, you should get some lights, and I still have those lights to this day. Like these are un homme en feu, exactement. Donc why not? Let's just switch over. Donc on continue, n'est-ce pas? On a amélioré un petit peu le studio. On a ajouté de la lumière ici. Et pendant cette époque, c'était important de garder le rose partout. Because that was my aesthetic. Right? It's always the black and pink. And yeah, this is the setup. Bonjour. And we started including a little bit of figurines, and I think that continues to be my shtick. You know, they're collectibles, Marie. They're minerals. Onward now, Vern.
And yeah, it could be a little confusing, but the more you do it, the more it becomes natural. That end in ACE, that happened to be masculine, at which point vous avez ajouté un astérix. You added an asterisk. You can't see it because I'm doing it over here in the wrong colored ink. There we go. Let's try that again. There. Vous avez...
Oh, look, I'm using the whiteboard.
Le présent est là. The present tense is right there.
The whiteboard has a completely different purpose now.
And over here would be the future tense, right?
So this is this board has now, like, it's now in the kitchen, and it's like it's a whole vision board, and you know, it's got all sorts of stuff on it. We'll share it some other time. We are now moving along. Let's look at this Canadian flag for a second. Proudly Canadian.
They're just being kicked and punched, and they're actively participating in their way, learning about learning skills in French. Identifie of all things en français.
All right, so again, we're just moving along, and eventually, I guess let's go to the very last clip here.
All right.
All right, we're in November now, and we're identifying the. Again, this is a beginner French class, right? So first time in French. Look at all these people; they're checking it out. That's like a good number, a positive integer, shall we say? And we're now learning about.
Right, il y avait des one class evolve or repeat, right? Donc vous pouvez toujours n'importe quel deux verbes. Use of futur, why not? Into what we're talking about.
What a time! We've come such a long way. But yeah, Kaz, we Quad 2. Why not, right? Let's go into that now. Oh, these are assignments. Okay, never mind then. So, yeah, we've come a long way as a streamer. This is clearly cool stuff. Okay, not caca de taureau, but instead cool things. Actually, I think the most honest description of these items here behind me are the little like trinkets, mementos, cool things that kind of chronicle a little bit the like my wife and I's journey. You know, like whenever we look at another toy or another like little thing, it's like, hey, like we were here when we found this, and we were really into this thing. Okay, for the folks wondering, I think this is the Banksy that I can afford in this lifetime. And for folks who actually like follow Banksy's art, you're probably thinking like, this has got to be a big slap in the face. Like, you found a way to take a person who, you know, always has social commentary and you know, looks at, you know, the materialism of people quite often, and you've turned it into a toy. However, if you are looking for something fun to watch, do check out the movie Exit from the Gift Shop. At which point you'll get to learn a little bit about Monsieur Brainwash. And you can ask yourself the question, is he legitimate? Or was he also a Banksy project? Okay, what have I told you? Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is an imaginary friend to Jenny. I think I just broke some of you. And if you're watching this on VODs, you're like, what? How did we get here? I don't know. Yeah, Kaz, quad masters. We made to quad 3. Everyone's like, no, I can't take any more 2.5 hour classes. My brain's not braining. I can only fit about 3 episodes of Grey's Anatomy in that time. It's my 10th Vic Royale today. You know, like it was such a funky time. But yeah, Kryptoni, you're absolutely, you're on the money here. The beauty of the internet, it's being able to teach online. It's being able to share your experiences and your end results. And there were a lot of folks who found their niche right during the pandemic. If we were to talk about, like, you know, who's an artist that I follow to this day, Harry Mack. His brain is completely just, you know, celebrity collab one day. Harry Mack, you know, please find my DMs. But he would destroy me in a rap battle. Like naughty. I don't even have to show up. I would just take the L, sit down, stay humble. In the wise words of Kendrick. But I think it is coming up on 1. This is a nice spot to pack things up. We've got another viewer coming through. But we'll be back again, okay, next week, episodes 7 and 8. And I think the angle, right, one is going to be focused on exercise and sports science. Another is going to be focused on diet. I think it just makes sense for the two of them to coincide. But tomorrow I'm off on another little adventure. I think tomorrow it's going to take me to Pickering. I think that's the area where I'll be seeing a friend who... like if you've been following my stories on IG and you're like, hey, did you just buy this giant tank? Yes. We'll show you someone who understands, you know, aquascaping and tanks and botany. This is a whole new level. Okay, my turtle tank, which isn't little anymore, but it's still a turtle tank. It's great. I really appreciate it. I think the turtles appreciate it more than I do. Because I was just like, hey, how do I like not herniate a disc and break myself moving this up the stairs? Thank you, Kohelan. Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll share something very intense when it comes to how far you can go with tank life. Okay, make that trend, tank life. And this one, teach people. I think that those are. Actually, the second I think a hashtag is one that I'd like to see more of. Okay, teach people. Turtle Master, I don't know, Splinter. I guess if you just feed everyone pizza, they'll be happy. And yeah, it's one of those like if you know, you know. I was popular with the Domino's pizza close to Leaside. Actually, I had the one at Gerrard too, close to Malvern. Like I have them on speed dial. Anyway, so I think this is a nice little spot to pack things up. We're gonna find some lunch, reset, rest, recalibrate, reset, and keep making more reels, keep making more stuff. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in, whether it was for the whole stream, W in the chats, whether it was just for a few minutes, okay, whether it's on VODs down the road. I know some folks, they just, I just kind of show up on their TV and they're like, hey, cool. So that's awesome. That's a really cool feeling. Your support continues to encourage me to do more of this. And even if your support changes, I think I'll still keep doing this because I'm liking it. I'm enjoying this. And it's not cool shit. It's cool stuff. Okay, so let's make more cool stuff together. Until next time, folks, as always, I appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Till next time, be kind.